All right. So class, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our warm-up. Now, I wanna do just a nice short little warm-up today, and our cool down will also be nice and short today as well at the end of the session. But we'll go ahead and get started. The first exercise I have for us is gonna be a nice, easy march in place, right? Just something to get the blood pressure up, get the heart rate up, right? Get the body temperature up, all right, and get us ready to move. So what I'm gonna do is I'll do a side view for this marching in place here, and we're gonna go for about 30 seconds. We're gonna get ourselves started in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Now remember our walking mechanics, right? When we have our left leg come up, for example, we want to be pushing our right arm forward, right? We're playing that game of opposites here with our limbs. We want to make this tougher. We can push our knee up a little higher, and that's going to force us into a little more single leg balance for a longer period of time during your step. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Now, I want to go into our Tri-Planar shoulder warm-up, okay? The first exercise I have for us in that little warm-up series is going to be our arm swings with the internal and external rotation, okay? So, my arms are going to be up at shoulder height. I'm going to close up my chest and point my thumbs down to the floor. As I open up my chest, I'm going to point my thumbs back up toward the ceiling. Remember, I'm also going to be pinching my shoulders together in this position so we get our upper back muscles working as well, okay? We're going to go for 30 seconds with this one in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Quick swings, quick twist of the arms, right? When I point my thumbs down, and back up, I want that rotation to involve the entire upper extremity, right? All the way from the fingertips to the shoulder. We're getting the rotator cuff involved with this one here, a little bit more so than if we just swung back and forth without moving the hands, without moving the thumbs. Again, pinch those shoulders back as you open up the chest. We're getting a nice dynamic stretch in the chest as well. Checking my time. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Let your arms come down and dangle for a second or two. Now I want to go into our arm circles, okay? So again, I'm going to bring my arms up to shoulder height. And remember which direction you're going for the first set because we're going to go the opposite direction for the second set. We're going to go 20 seconds here. All right, go ahead and start if you haven't already. Starting off small. Right, small circles, and then at your own pace, get larger and larger as you go. Make sure you're continuing to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Let those arms come down and dangle. Now, hopefully you remember which way you're going. I think I went forward, yep, for that first set. Let's go the opposite direction. So now I'm going to be going backward. And I'm starting off small once again. 20 seconds. Getting larger and larger at your own pace. Very good. Checking the time. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. All right, now the last part of our warm-up here for the shoulder or for the upper body is going to involve our vertical reaches. So I'm going to find a good athletic position. I'm going to be having my hips and knees bent. I don't have to be bent over as forward as we do for some exercises, right? But just have a nice little lean here, and I'm going to reach to the ceiling. Spreading my fingers out as I go, and I'm even getting a slight twist in the direction of my reach. Just reaching straight up. I want this stretch to go all the way through the hand and the fingers. There we go. About 10 more seconds here, class. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now from here, class, I want to go into a dynamic lateral reach. Okay? So with that one here, we've done the static lateral reach. That's the one where we have the wall here, right? If I'm doing my mime work here, I got my wall, and we reach the opposite hand over that wall to get a nice static stretch here in the side of the torso, right? The side that's opposite from the wall. Now, I can turn that into a dynamic stretch. If I get a nice reach on one side and then get a nice reach on the other, I can go back and forth and make this stretch a little bit more dynamic, okay? Now, be careful. You want to go to a gentle, or go the gentle movement and find a comfortable range of motion here, okay? You don't want to just kind of go too fast through the movement, okay? Take your time, get a nice stretch here. You see, I'm also kind of pushing my hips in the opposite direction of my reach to kind of augment that stretch there in the torso, okay? So be gentle. Let's go for 30 seconds here. Go ahead and start. Here we go. Comfortable range of motion. Again, you want to be making sure that you're standing up nice and tall. And remember, we're imagining that we have a clock right here. We're reaching for the 12 o'clock position on that clock, not for the 11 or the 1 o'clock, right? Nice and tall, lean, and reach right over top of the head. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Now, from here, class, I want to finish up with a really quick lower body warm-up here, okay? And that's going to be our forward and backward or linear leg swings, okay? So we did these on Wednesday with our freeze and our go, all right? But this time we're just going to go for 30 seconds on each side. I'm not going to try to surprise you with a freeze and a go this time, all right? So I've got my chair or my wall next to me for that extra support. One last thing, remember, we want to make sure that we're emphasizing the back part of the swing as much as we do the forward part, right? Because we can't really see the back part of our swing unless we're really looking at it, right, or trying to look at it. We want to make sure we get our glutes and our hamstrings involved as well, okay? So let's get 30 seconds on each side in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Just swinging forward and backward. Make sure that you're staying or keeping your torso stable over your plant leg. We don't want to be swinging so far forward or backward that we're starting to lose control of our torso, right? We want to stay stable over that plant leg. About 5 seconds left here, class. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Shake out that plant leg for a little bit too, class, before we switch. Because remember, that leg is going to be working hard isometrically to keep you upright. Okay? So let's switch legs here. Go ahead and go right into it. 30 more seconds. Here we go. We're loosening up our leg muscles, getting ready for our stepping mechanics later on. We got to get our balance in there first, though, don't we? Keep that breathing. Keep that torso stable over the plant leg. 5 seconds left. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now, I'm going to keep my chair close to me, all right? And today's actually the last day of our 2 quote-unquote movements. I know that closing the eyes isn't really a movement, but today's our last day of our 2-week set of keeping our eyes closed or moving our head up and down, all right? Which means that when we come back next week, I'll have a new set of progressions for us to work on, okay? But what stays consistent is the 4 stances. We have the wide stance, narrow stance, staggered stance, and tandem stance, okay? So again, as always, you're gonna pick between one of those 4, and then you're going to combine one of those 4 stances with whichever movement we are doing for the 2-week span that we're in. So remember, that's either moving the head up and down in a certain stance or keeping your eyes closed in a certain stance. We'll always have that chair or wall next to us if we need it. All right, and I'm going to be doing all kinds of different stances and combinations to just show different options that you have. Please continue to do whichever option is most appropriate for you here, okay? So I got my feet wide. I'm gonna start with my wide stance here, and I think I'll do the head up and down for my first set. Remember, we're going 4 sets of 20 seconds. All right, we're gonna get ourselves started in, hold on, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Find a stance, pick your movement. Go ahead. Remember, class, we want to move our neck through a comfortable range of motion if you're choosing to do this particular option. Right? Only mild discomfort, never pain. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Let's move on to set number 2. Now remember, class, if you're doing staggered or tandem, remember to switch your feet so that you have an even number of sets with the left foot out in front and the right foot out in front, okay? I'm gonna go with a narrow stance here, and I'm gonna continue with my head up and down, all right? We got 20 more seconds in. Hold on. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. My neck is feeling much better today, so now I can actually look up to the ceiling when I do this with you. We're really working the inner ear here as we move our head up and down. Checking my time. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now, I'm going to go into my staggered stance here, and I'm going to go with the eyes closed. All right. Like I said before, I know that that's not actually a movement, but it certainly does challenge our balance. All right. So, but again, I kind of have to cheat a little bit so I can see the time. So, we're going to get ourselves started in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Eyes closed or moving the head up and down. There we go. Checking my time. 9 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now for my last set here, I think I'm going to choose the tandem, and I'm switching which foot is out in front, right? Let's knock out our last set together in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. This is the one that I feel the most wobbly with. The eyes closed with the tandem. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. 5 seconds left. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now, I'm going to move this chair out of the way, and we're going to go into our more power-oriented work. It's Friday, so we know that we have our catch step today, all right? And we have our wall-assisted knee drives paired with that catch step, okay? So remember, the wall-assisted knee drive is all about getting your leg up quickly, okay? When we talk about situations that you might find yourself in, right? If you trip over something, you're going to want to be able to get that knee up fast to catch yourself, okay? So I'm at my wall here, and again, we're just going to pretend that this railing isn't here, because I am in a dance studio. So my hands are going to be on the wall, and I want to find a good plank position, right? This is going to be important later because we do happen to have planks on our workout for the core work later. So I'm in my elevated plank position. I'm pushing my hips forward because I want to be as straight as a PVC pipe from the top of my head to my ankles, all right? And from here, I'm going to quickly raise up my knee. Remember, class, we're picking up our toes along with, because this movement from our foot or ankle and this movement from my hip and knee, these are all paired movements. All right, so we want to make sure they stick together. and I'm gonna alternate between right and left, okay? Now, the last piece of this that I'm gonna talk about is the breathing. I wanna breathe out as I quickly bring my knee up, and then be breathing back in as I bring the knee back down. And then go back and forth between right and left, okay? I'd like to do 30 seconds for this first set, all right? Let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Breathing out as that knee comes up fast. Remember, we're picking up the toes along with the knee and that bending at the hip. Nice and control on the way down. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. So the exercise that we pair with this for the superset is going to be that catch step that we're all pretty familiar with by now, right? So the catch step class, we are standing in front of a wall. If we're a little bit concerned about losing our balance going forward, we have that wall out in front of us, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow gravity to get my momentum or get my center of mass going forward. And then I stick my foot out quickly to catch myself, okay? And remember, as always, class, we are aiming for getting larger steps, right? Because we want to be getting functionally longer. I know I talk about that every week, but that's how important it is, right? Getting functionally longer, get that nice big step, and then that way we begin to take larger steps as we walk throughout our day, okay? So we'll go for 30 more seconds here. We're gonna get ourselves started in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Let gravity start you off. Alternate between right and left. There we go. Checking my time. So we got 10 seconds left. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. I want to try to fit that last step in there every time before we end. All right. And again, I didn't take a lot of steps during that time span, right? Because I'm taking my time. I'm letting gravity start me off. So I'm just leaning forward. All right. My brain doesn't know that I'm going to take that step. So let's get our second and final set of our wall-assisted knee drives. All right. Again, 30 more seconds. Find that plank position. We're going to get ourselves started in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. There we go. This one's not about getting tired. It's not about feeling it in a certain muscle group. This is about working on speed, right? Get your knee up as fast as you can. That speed of the movement, that speed of contraction. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now from here, class, let's go into our catch step. But now I'm going to do this from over here. All right, just to kind of show those different options. I'll turn the camera down just a little bit. There we go. All right, and I'll do a side view of this catch step as well, or for this set of the catch step. So we've got 30 seconds. We're going to get ourselves started in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Let gravity do the work. Get that leg out quickly, getting functionally longer. Continue to breathe in through the nose, not through the mouth as you go. 5 seconds left. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now grab a sip of water for me, class. Catch your breath if you need to. Let's go over our first resistance training set. Now, our stepping mechanics aren't really like resistance training in the truest sense, but I do like to take a day every 2 weeks or so to just really work on those mechanics, right? We want to get really good at stepping properly, right? Being confident in our walking ability. Getting those dumbbells out of the way so I don't trip on them, all right? So I have my cone. Again, the object that you have at home doesn't have to be a cone. It can be a water bottle. It can be like a small box or something. Now remember, you don't have to have an object either. If you have a line on the floor or some sort of a marking on your floor, you can work on stepping over that as well, okay? You don't have to have that cone. So I'm gonna, oops, there we go. I'm gonna place that right here. And we're gonna work on our linear stepping mechanics first. So if you remember, class, we're gonna work on stepping forward and backward, okay? Picking up the toes and the knee as we go, right? Just like in the wall-assisted knee drive that we just did. We're gonna get 20 seconds on each leg here, okay? So we'll get 20 seconds on this leg, 20 seconds on this leg, and then we'll move on to our upper body exercise that we're gonna pair with this. Now, the other element to this class is that we can also add a stomp to our movement, right? So when I step up and over this cone, and that's important that I said up and over, we wanna make sure that we're going over it and not just around it, okay? Because you wanna get that knee picked up. I'm going to stomp on the floor as I come down, okay? And I'll try my best not to talk as much while I'm stomping. But remember, the purpose of that stomping is because we want to increase a little bit of the impact that happens to our bones there, right? If we increase the impact on our bones just a little bit more, there could be a benefit there for bone mineral density, right? For those of us who may be having some of that osteopenia, osteoporosis, that type of thing, right? That impact can help work on maintaining that bone mineral density, all right? So we're gonna work on that stomp. We don't have to work on that stomp if you don't want to, all right? It's just an option, so you can step quietly if you prefer as well, okay? Now, the upper body exercise that I wanna pair with this class is going to be our band pull apart, okay? So I've got my resistance band here. I'm gonna grab the handles. I like to wrap up the excess, okay? But again, you don't have to do that. You can just grab the band somewhere out on the cord. But I'm gonna hold this band at the shoulder height. My palms are facing down. It's like I'm giving everybody a knuckle bump, okay? Or a fist bump, I should have said there. And then I'm going to pull each end of the band toward the wall on either side of me, all right? And as I do that, I'm pinching my shoulders back like we did in our arm swings, and I want to extend my chest out far enough to have the band come out and meet it, okay? So the band comes back, touches my shirt, I'm pinching my shoulders, and we see my hands are spread out to the side. Now, we want to make sure that we're keeping our hands at shoulder height, so I should be pulling a little more out here. There we go. And back down, right? Keep those hands up at shoulder height. If you notice your hands coming down, it might be because we are starting to round out with our posture, okay? We don't want that. We want to stay nice and tall, pinch the shoulders back as we do this exercise, all right? This one here will be 2 sets of 10 reps, okay, to match our 2 sets of 20 seconds that we're gonna do with our linear stepping mechanics here, okay? So let's start off with the stepping. I'm gonna get my watch figured out here. There we go. And we're gonna go for 20 seconds on each leg together in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Add that stomp. If you want to, pick up the toes, pick up the knee. Keep it up. Go up and over, not around. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Then we'll switch feet. One last thing I want to say here, class. Make sure that you are telling yourself where you want that foot to go, right? Think about that claw game at the arcade where you use that joystick, you move that claw around, and you drop it in the right spot to get that stuffed animal. Then you pick up that stuffed animal, and then you drop it in the right spot so that you can pull it out of the thing there, all right? That's the way I want you to think about your foot, right? Be in control. I want to drop my foot right there. That's where it's going to go. I want to drop my foot back here. That's where it's going to go, okay? Now, again, that might involve looking down a lot. That's okay. As you get more comfortable, try to work on looking up and staying in control of where you place that foot, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect placement of the foot. Just, again, be in control of where you're putting it down, all right? So let's knock out the other set on this leg here together. In 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. There we go. Going up and over. Getting that nice stomp in there if you want to. Checking my time. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and relax. That's set 1 of our linear step mechanics down already. Let's get our first set of our band pull apart. I'll do this set out here like this just to kind of demonstrate the other ways that you can manipulate the band, right? I don't like to just grab it out on the cord like this because then those handles flop around while I'm going. But again, if that doesn't bother you, then you don't have to worry about it. You can just grab it like this, all right? But either way, my palms are facing down, right? Like I'm going to give you all that fist bump. Let's knock out these 10 reps together in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Now I'm going to set this band down over here. Let's get our second set of the linear stepping mechanics. I'm going to start off with my right foot once again. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Nice stomp. Again, try to keep those eyes up. Good. Checking my time. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Let's switch feet. All right. Let's go ahead and go right into it. Ready? Go ahead. Keep that breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Your brain is telling your foot where it's going to go. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Let's grab that band one more time. I'm going to wrap up the excess this time. Grab the handles and just wrap it around the hand on each end. All right. We got 10 more reps together. Let's go ahead and go right into it. Ready? Go ahead. Coming out. Back in. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. I'm going to unwrap my hands. I'm going to stick my band over on the side. I don't think we need it anymore for the rest of the workout. All right. My second exercise. Oh, yeah, no, I'm right. We do not need the band for the rest of the session. We do still need our cone. Grab a sip of water for me here, class. Catch your breath if you need to while I go over our next 2 exercises. All right. So we did our linear already, and we already know from past experience now we're going to be doing our lateral. So now I'm stepping up alongside my cone here. And I'm gonna work on, again, up and over, picking up the toes with the knee. Get that stomp if you want to, and right back to the start, okay? Now, as always, class, we wanna make sure that we're not stepping out too wide. Now I'm in a little bit more of a precarious situation. All right, so just make sure you're getting just over the cone. Get a nice wide base right here, and right back to the start, okay? Just like with the last exercise, we'll get 20 seconds on each leg, and then we'll move to our upper body exercise, which is going to be our overhead press or lateral raise. All right, so I'm going to move this cone just for a second. The overhead press, remember, we can do this either seated or standing, and we can do the lateral raise either seated or standing as well. But I got my chair here. I'm sitting up nice and tall, and I'm going to work on my starting position with these dumbbells. This is a little bit more of an Arnold press type of a movement, our overhead press that we do in this class. But right now, my dumbbells are held up in front of my body. I'd say almost kind of like collarbone level, all right? Palms are facing my body. I'm going to rotate my palms out as I press straight up, and then I'm going to rotate my palms back in as I bring my weights back down, okay? So again, we're getting that nice twisting as we go up and back down, okay? And as you can see, I have my light weights here today for this one, okay? We're going to be doing 2 sets of 15 reps with this overhead option, and that means that I'm going to be recommending we use the lighter weights that you have there, okay? So now, if I want to do this standing, it's just the same thing, right? Now I'm just standing up. But if we're a little bit wary of pushing resistance above our head, we also have our lateral raise option, okay? And we have a progression to talk about there as well. So if I find a good athletic position, hips and knees are bent, I can do my lateral raise with my arms bent, all right? So you see my elbow from the side is bent at about 90 degrees. I'm gonna lift my arms up to shoulder height, and then I'm gonna bring them right back down. And I'm trying to maintain that 90-degree angle as I go up and back down. That's gonna be much easier on our shoulders there as we do our lateral raise. Now, if we wanna make that tougher, again, I'm gonna find the same position, but now my elbows are extended out, and now I'm gonna lift out to the side and back down. As always, class, we're not just gonna be lifting straight out, okay? We're gonna be lifting out and coming forward slightly, right? We wanna keep our shoulders in that scapular plane of motion, and we do that by having a little bit of a forward angle on our raise, okay? Both those exercises, like I said, 2 sets of 15 reps, all right? So, got my cone. I'm gonna set that up right here. Let's go to our lateral stepping mechanics first, all right? So I'm lining myself up alongside my cone. We're gonna get 20 seconds together. In 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Oh, a little too wide there. There we go. Try to keep the eyes up as best you can. Pick up the toes. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and relax. Let's switch sides. That means I'm walking to the other side of my cone here. Let's do the same thing. Ready? Go ahead and go right into it. There we go. Nice stomps. About 5 seconds left here, class. Keep it up. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and relax. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to leave my cone there. I'm going to do, for this first set, I'll do the overhead press. For the second set, I'll do the lateral raise. Okay? Either way, we're knocking out 15 reps together, and we're going to get ourselves started in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? I'm coming up and back down. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Very good. That's one set down. I'm going to set these weights. I'm making sure that I'm setting them down plenty far away from my feet, right? I don't want to trip on them as I go through our final set of our stepping mechanics here today. So again, I'm going to line myself up alongside my cone. I don't want to be too wide. And we're going to go for 20 more seconds together in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Be in control of where your foot goes. Pick up the knee, pick up the toes. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and relax. Let's walk ourselves over to the other side of the cone. All right, we got 20 more seconds. Let's go ahead and go right into it. Ready? Go ahead. Again, try your best to keep those eyes up if you feel comfortable enough to do so. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and relax. Very good. I'm going to move this cone off to the side. We should not need it for the rest of the session. All right, but I do need my light weights once again. And like I said earlier, class, I'm going to do the lateral raise option so that I demonstrate both, okay? So I'll show this from the side here to get that nice forward angle on the raise, okay? We're going to knock out 15 reps together in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Coming out and back in. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Very good. Now I'm going to set these down. Catch your breath if you need to, class. Grab a sip of water if you need to as well. I'm going to go over our final resistance training superset before we hit our cardio. So that first one, the reason why I'm up close again, is we're going to be doing our behind the back pass today, okay? Now, we can do that without weight, okay? We can do it with something really small if you want to, or we can use the lighter weights that you have as well, okay? So with this one, remember class, if I turn my back to you, which again, I don't want to do very often, but here it makes a little more sense. We're going to be cutting our back into quadrants, okay? So I just kind of slice down and horizontally, okay? If I have, let's say I have my weight in my right hand, I'm going to work on passing this weight off from my right hand to my left. And the area on your back at which the handoff occurs is going to determine the difficulty. Okay, so now you see right there, I have my quadrants right here. This is going to be the easiest one. Low down and on the same side as the hand that I'm using to hand off the weight. That's going to be the easiest one right there. If I want to make it tougher, I'm going to reach farther across. All right? If I want to make it tougher yet, I'm going to reach up a little bit more. Okay? And hand that weight off. Even tougher yet, I'm going to reach up and reach over. Okay? Just like that right there. We're working on the internal rotation mobility of our shoulder, all right? And another exercise I'm sure that reminds you of the back scratch, right? So what I'd like to do is get 2 sets of 20 seconds for each hand, okay? So we'll get 20 seconds using the right hand to hand off, and then we'll get 20 seconds using the left hand to hand off that weight, all right? But again, if you want to just use no weight, right, you can touch your hands together as you go if you want to, or you can use something even smaller, all right, if you're a little wary of doing this with a certain resistance, okay? So that'll be our shoulder work for this superset. Now, the core exercise, I already talked about this during the power set, is gonna be our elevated plank, okay? Now, this is gonna be an isometric exercise, so we wanna make sure that we're breathing during this movement here, and I have different levels of difficulty based on how elevated our hands are, okay? This is just like with our push-up, okay? Our elevated push-up, the easiest or the lowest progression is going to be with our hands on the wall, okay? And again, I'm going to be doing the push-up here, but we're not doing the push-up, we're doing the plank. With my hands here, I can come down and back out, all right? That's gonna be a lot easier. It's the same idea on the plank, all right? The lower my hands go, I'm gonna walk my feet out, the tougher it's gonna be. And again, just like in that wall-assisted knee drive, I wanna be as straight as a PVC pipe from my head all the way to my ankles. So that means I don't want my hips out here, and I don't want my hips down here either, all right? I wanna make sure I'm pinching my glutes together, staying nice and straight from head to ankle as I hold this position. This is gonna work our core here, okay? Now, if I wanna make this tougher, I'm gonna go find that chair back, okay? Just like with the push-up. So now, my hands are going to be lower down. That bringing the hands down is going to make the plank a little bit tougher. But again, check the hips. If we have the hips pushed up, if we have them down here, we're not in that plank position. We want to stay as straight as we can from head to ankle, all right? So I like to do 2 sets of 30 seconds to pair with the 20 seconds on each side with the behind the back pass, okay? So let's start off with that behind the back pass. I'm gonna hold a weight here for this one, and I'm gonna do my best to be checking my watch to make sure that we actually go for 20 seconds and not for 30 by accident. So again, showing my back to you. I don't like to do that, but we're gonna do it here. We're gonna get ourselves started in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, pick a hand. Determine how far you wanna reach. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. Your handoff doesn't have to be perfectly in one of those 4 quadrants, right? Just find a range of motion that's going to challenge you. 3, 2, 1. Relax, and then we'll switch hands. All right, so now my left hand is going to be doing the handing off. All right, 20 more seconds here. Ready? Go ahead. Again, find a range of motion that's going to challenge you. Doesn't have to be perfectly in a quadrant, right? That handoff. Just get that handoff somewhere that's going to make you work on that shoulder mobility. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. So I'm setting that weight away from my feet, and I think I'll do this first set of my elevated plank at the wall, okay? Hopefully I don't make anybody dizzy when I turn the camera like that, all right? But just like with that wall-assisted knee drive, I got my hands here, I'm pushing my hips forward, I'm pinching my glutes, and I'm working my core here. We're gonna go for 30 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Remember, class, this is isometric, so keep your breathing. Use your core to keep your body nice and straight, straight as a PVC pipe. 10 seconds, keep it up. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. shake those arms out a little bit if you need to. Let's knock out that final set of the behind the back pass. Hopefully my view of that was good, or your view of that was good. All right, we'll do the same thing here. Okay, so 20 seconds on each side. We're gonna get ourselves started in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, pick a hand. Find a comfortable range of motion that challenges you. If you're feeling any pain, probably shouldn't reach to that range of motion, right? Or that point of mild discomfort, just like in our static stretching. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Now we're switching hands, 20 more seconds, all right? Go ahead. You're breathing as you go. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now, we shouldn't need our weights for the rest of the session, so I'm going to put this one over here. And I'm going to do our final set of the plank, the elevated plank from the chair. All right? You continue to do whatever's comfortable for you. All right? So I got my chair set up right here. And if you're going to use the chair, I should have said this before the first set. If you're choosing to use a chair for your elevated plank, you should probably put it up against a wall, okay? So that way it doesn't slide. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that right here for myself as well. I'm just gonna stick that chair right there. Remember, I used to have that nice elevated padded floor in the free weight area of the clinic. I don't have that anymore. So, gotta put my chair up against something here, all right? Now, that's not perfect. That's better, there we go. All right, we got 30 more seconds together. In 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Pinch those glutes. Keep those hips in line with the rest of your body. Flat as a PVC pipe. From the head to the ankles. Ten seconds left. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. All right. So, really quickly, class, catch your breath if you need to. Let's go over our cardio. Now, our cardio is going to be pretty simple today. All right. Going to be quite a bit of marching. All right. So, the 2 different exercises that we have, they're going to differ in the direction that we're going. Okay. So, the first one I have is going to be my forward, backward marches, okay? I want to make sure I'm staying up nice and tall, okay? I'm picking up my knees and my toes, and I'm taking a couple steps forward and a couple steps backward, okay? That's why I'm getting larger and then smaller on the camera, okay? We'll do that one for 3 sets of 45 seconds, okay? Now, what I like about pairing that exercise with our second one is that there's a nice change of direction that we have to do, all right? So that second exercise is going to be our lateral marches. So here you see, I'm doing the same thing. I'm picking up my knees and my toes, but now I'm taking steps going side by side, maybe 5 or 6 steps to the left, 5 or 6 steps to the right. I don't really have to go over a really large distance, okay? Then when this set ends, we switch back to forward. So now we have to work on changing direction quickly, okay? Now, I always want you to make sure that you're safe, right? So if I'm going from lateral marching to all of a sudden going to forward marching, take a second here, stabilize yourself, and then go right back into your forward backward, okay? It's the same thing if we're going from forward to lateral, okay? Make sure you have plenty of space in your area there because we can end up kind of anywhere with this one, okay? So, again, 3 sets of 45 seconds for the forward, backward, 3 sets of 45 seconds for the lateral, okay? So, let's go ahead and get ourselves started in, hold on, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Forward, backward to start. I'm gonna do my best to keep track of the time with my watch. Again, just make yourself larger and smaller in the camera. Pick up those knees, pick up those toes. Make sure you have a good forward lean when you're doing the backward part of your march. Lean forward when you're doing the backward part of your march. Checking my time. Still got about 15 seconds left here, class. Keep it up. Very nice. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. Lateral. Right? Change of direction. There we go. Work on picking up those knees, picking up those toes as best you can. Going side by side now. Very good. About 30 seconds left. Keep this up, class. I'm feeling this one in my calves already. Keeping that breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Checking my time. Hey, 10 seconds to go here, class. Remember, we have that change of direction coming up. I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to the camera as I go side by side. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. Forward, backward march. Keep that forward lean as you go backward. I cannot emphasize that enough, okay? I don't want anybody falling backwards on the backward part of the march. Nice job. Keep it up here, class. About 15 seconds left. Keep it up. Keep those arm movements with the steps as well, right? Opposite arm movements with the leg movement. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. Lateral. Side by side. This is the second set of our lateral march. We've got one more set of each exercise after this one. All right, keep it up. And then just a short little cool down to round up the class, round up the week. 20 seconds to go. Keep it up. Keep those knees driving. Keep those toes up. Keep those arm movements. Now, as you fatigue, keep your posture as well, right? Keep the big chest. Keep the shoulders pinched. Keep the eyes up as we go. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. Forward, backward. I slowly creep forward as I go in the lateral. I don't know why. Again, keep that forward lean as you go backward. Last set here of the forward, backward. Keep those toes coming up. Checking my time. 15 seconds left here, class. Keep it up. Very good. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Keep that posture here. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. Last set of the lateral. Keep it up. This is going to take us to the 4.5 minute mark. Very good. Marching for 4.5 minutes, that's like taking a nice power walk outside. Very good. Keep it up. We got 20 seconds to go. Keep picking up those knees and those toes. I'm getting closer to the camera again, aren't I? Keep that breathing. Keep those arm movements. We can do it. Very nice. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. A lot of stepping today. All right. A lot of stepping on that. This is the 12th day of our 12-day cycle, right? We've been through each workout twice already. That's crazy. We're already halfway through. So that's our marching day. Like we're going to practice to be in a marching band. All right. I'll wait for some thumbs here. Let me know when you're ready. There's a thumb right there. Got another thumb. Another thumb. 2 more thumbs. Awesome. I think we're ready to go. So, like I said, class, we have a short little cool down today. I'm gonna go back to Big Chris. Hair's sticking up right there. There you go. Full screen. Okay, so the first stretch that I want to do for us today is going to be the back scratch test. All right, and that's going to directly complement the overhead press or lateral raise, depending on which one you chose to do today. But it's also really going to help us out with that behind the back pass, right? I mean, literally, we're doing the bottom half of the back scratch every time we perform a rep of that behind the back pass, okay? So I really think that this stretch is gonna help us out with that range of motion, okay? As always, we'll get 20 seconds on each side here, all right? So with this one, you gotta remember which arm you have going up and down each time, all right? And I'm saying that for myself too, so I don't forget. So we're gonna go for 20 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. I got my right arm down and my left arm up. Keep that breathing, keep that posture, right? I always like the side view for this to show the big chest, pinching the shoulders, right? Stand up nice and tall. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Let your arms come down with control, all right? We don't want to just whip our arms out of that position, okay? Now I'm going to turn to the other side, and I'm going to bring my right arm up and over this time, and my left arm down and around. 20 more seconds. Go ahead. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Checking my time. 5 seconds left here, class. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Arms are coming down with control. Very good. This next one here, class, is going to be quite familiar. I'm going to get this chair out of the way. Get over here. But this one here is going to be our arm reach across. All right. So each week I'm going to try to alternate between the reach across and the thread the needle, so that way we get a little bit more variety with this one. But this week I want to stick with that reach across. So I'm going to find a good athletic position, nice and stable. Hips and knees are nice and bent. And I'm going to pinch a shoulder back. As always, make sure the shoulder blade is packed in. Make sure the shoulder joint is nice and stable. And then I'm going to bring that arm across. I'm not bracing on the elbow. All right, I'm pushing the arm into my chest. Let's go for 30 seconds here. Go ahead and start if you haven't already. Again, keep that shoulder locked in place when you pull that arm across your chest. Still got about 15 seconds left here, class. Keep it up, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Let that arm come down and dangle. All right, let's do the same thing on the other arm. Pack the shoulder blade in. Pinch that shoulder back. Keep it locked in place. Go ahead. 30 more seconds. Keeping that breathing. Very nice. 15 seconds to go. And then I want to move into our hamstring stretches for the day. Got 2 options for that one this time. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. I'm letting that arm dangle. Now, like I said, we have options for the hamstring. So with my chair here, all right, we have a really classic hamstring stretch that we've done very frequently. We have another hamstring stretch that we've done quite a bit, but maybe not as frequently, okay? So the first one that we don't do as frequently is gonna be at the wall, all right? We did this earlier this week as well, but I wanna put my hands on the wall here, and the height at which you place your hands really depends on your flexibility of the lower body, right? So let's just pretend that this railing isn't here, okay? I'm sliding my hands down. As I slide my hands down, I'm gonna be pushing my hips back, okay? You see my knees are bent here, my back is nice and flat, I'm pushing my hips back. This should remind all of us of the RDL, right? I'm getting a nice stretch through my hamstring muscles here, maybe even my glutes. And I'd like us to hold this one here for 40 seconds, okay? Now, if we maybe don't feel the stretch quite as well with the wall version, we can always do the chair version instead, okay? So the chair version is exactly what we'd worked on in the past. I'm scooting up to the front of my seat, digging my heels in, and I'm gonna get a nice, oops, I wanna make sure I don't slide off the end of my chair. A little too far forward there. But nice flat back, lean forward, get that nice stretch in the hamstrings here as well. They're both the RDL position, just a little different setup, okay? Let's do 40 seconds. I'll do about 10 seconds or so in the chair. I'll do the last 30 seconds from the wall to demonstrate both, all right? We got 40 seconds on this stretch together. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get ourselves started in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Again, I'm just gonna do 10 seconds on this one and 30 on the other because that one's a little bit more difficult. All right, keep your back nice and flat no matter which one you're doing. There we go. I got the hands on the wall, push the hips back, keep the knees bent at the wall. Still got about 10 seconds left here, class. Keep it up. The last stretch that we're gonna do for the day is gonna be done off camera. All right, 3, 2, 1, relax. Go ahead and relax from that one. Now, like I said here, class, final stretch that I want us to do today is going to be the off-camera supine quadriceps stretch. So that's why I went and grabbed my piano bench here, which, again, as we know, is not long enough to actually support my body. But again, I lay down. I'm going to work on, there we go. I'm going to work on getting a leg back. And where that leg is placed depends on the height of your object or your range of motion. Get that stretch on one side, trade places, or switch places, not trade, switch places or positions, and then 30 more seconds on the other side. Don't forget, class, we can always have the option to also do our staggered stance quadriceps stretch with the back heel lifted, pressing the hips forward. We have our standing quad pull or the assisted chair lunge. Either one of those options, class, I would go with 30 seconds on each side to finish up your workout there, okay? But that's all that I have for you for today, class. I want to thank you all so much for participating once again, and